Hi, today's review is about the Fit Me foundation by Maybelline, and this is also the Luminous and Smooth version, and as you can see I'm in the shade 105, which is pretty light when it comes to the whole range. And for today's review we are going to see how it performs, and also I'm going to talk a little bit about the foundation while I'm applying it on my face. Now if you're a subscriber or if you're new to my channel, I'm all about a natural finish so that I actually can wear it during the day and also leave the house without looking cakey and crazy. So this is my main goal, and this is also why we are going to talk about this foundation right here. So let's get started. Now let's have a quick look when it comes to the bottle itself of the Fit Me foundation by Maybelline. Now as you can see, it says the Luminous and Smooth finish, and this one is also specific for dry to normal skin types because it gives you at the end a dewy finish, which makes your skin look much healthier. If you have an oily skin type, then I wouldn't go with this one because normally oily skin types get already a bit shinier during the day, so this one would be the worst for you. So go with the mattifying foundation because they also have a matte version of it. Now if you take the lid off, then it definitely also will come with a pump, which I'm really surprised because I have the mattifying one as well, and with this one it doesn't have a pump and this one has, so I don't know if it's like a new version of it, but I much prefer the pump version than just having the opening and you need to get it out yourself basically. It's also much cleaner. Now when it comes to the shade itself, I told you already I'm 105, that's my shade, and I have a drier combination skin, so that's also why I personally prefer this one, and it gives me a nice glow. So let's move on to the application, and I'm going to apply the foundation with a damp sponge. So what's really handy is that you just can pump it out on the palette or also on the back of your hand, and then I'm just going to use my beauty blender, which is damp of course, to apply it on my face. So what I personally like to do is I like to apply it with the sponge, but of course you can also use your fingers for it, which is the best way for you to apply it. It's a very liquidy foundation, it's definitely not thick. Because it's a luminous foundation, it feels a bit like a tinted moisturizer. The only difference is that the coverage is better than a tinted moisturizer. And because I have also quite some blemishes and breakouts right here, we will see together how good the coverage is. And for me personally, I'm looking for a natural finish, but you definitely can go from a sheer coverage to a medium to a full coverage. It just depends on how much you're going to build up until you are happy with the coverage you want. But as you already can tell, it gives me definitely that luminous finish, which is good if you have really dry skin. It will feel very comfortable and also very natural looking. Now I like to use the sponge. You could also use a brush, of course. It just depends on how you personally feel. Now when it comes to the coverage and also how it feels, it's definitely very lightweight, and as you can see, it just covers up a bit of my redness when it comes to the breakouts, but it's not like a huge coverage for the moment. But this is also just because this is my first layer and I haven't used any concealer yet. The only thing that I've just applied earlier was basically the moisturizer, and that's it. Now here you have a little close-up when it comes to the first layer that I've applied, and I personally wanted to keep it to one layer because I prefer the natural finish and also the lightweight finish. It feels definitely like a moisturizer, just with more coverage, which is really nice, and also if you have a dry skin, this definitely will feel very comfortable, so it's not tightening or something like that. When it comes to the breakouts area in general, when it comes to my chin area, it's still a bit red, but it covered mainly the area itself. Like there are a few more pimples right here. These are nearly gone. It's just like these two where I personally would grab to a concealer to get a bit more coverage. I wouldn't go in with the foundation and put a second layer on. That's not me. I personally wanted to keep it to one layer. It gives me a natural finish, it gives me a luminous finish, and it also is very comfortable during the day. Now it's not the first time that I'm using this foundation. I'm using it every day, and it definitely also will last every day. I'm here in the tropics where we have 40 degrees or 35 degrees and it's pretty hot. Now what I would do is I would apply some concealer and also some setting powder. Why setting powder or setting spray? Depends on how I feel personally. Well, because it just will lock in everything and it won't melt off my face. Now, if people are telling me that the foundation is melting off their face, I do not really get it, because I'm here in the tropics, it's so hot here, I'm sweating as well, and the foundation doesn't really move. So I don't know what you're doing wrong, because for me personally, I have a dry combination skin which is perfect for this foundation, and it's definitely not moving, which I personally really appreciate. That's why I'm still using it for my everyday use. Now, we all know that Maybelline is definitely a drugstore product which is very affordable. Now, when it comes to the foundation itself and also for how long it will last you, then I definitely would recommend to use a normal amount to apply it to your face. If you need to use one bottle in one day to cake up your face, then you're definitely doing something not really wrong, because it's your style, but then it gets very expensive. So what I definitely would recommend you is using it in a natural way, so that you actually can leave the house, do not look like a clown or overdo or whatever. Just use it as it's supposed to be. Like, if you are having a look at what it also says on the website, it says that it's for a sheer, medium to full coverage. You can play around with this foundation, and sometimes I also just use it for under my eye area, or just a bit more to even out my skin, like not really redness, but discoloration in general. It just will even out everything. So I personally really enjoy this foundation, especially also because of the natural finish that it gives it to me. Now, where you can find this product, well, you either can find it at the drugstore or online. I got this one from Amazon, so it's basically the same, just that I ordered it online. What I can tell you about this foundation are good things, positive things. It just does everything what I need for an everyday use to create also a gorgeous makeup look. So I hope that I could help you out with how the finish looks like and also how the coverage will be. Of course, you can build it up, don't get me wrong. I just personally prefer that kind of finish. Now, that's my opinion. I'm going to continue using it. I also really appreciate the pump, which is a great idea that they put it basically on the top of it. And that's all what I wanted to share with you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon in the next one. Bye!